Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Richard and this is the car that I'm building for my first customer, Paul. So this is where we're at with it. For anybody who doesn't know, it's based on an MR2 Toyota. So today, these arrived yesterday at my shop and so I'm just trying them on to see what sort of spaces we're gonna need. It's close, so they don't need to be too big, but I think about 15mm on the front. Haven't got the back on yet. I need to get the clam on. So I've got the side skirt on and lining up. Everything's, what's the camera doing? Everything's looking good. Still, obviously, a little bit of fine aligning to do, but I think this needs to go up a tiny touch. So the way I'm adjusting it is essentially elongating the holes in the side skirt there and there. At the moment, when you put them on, it's sort of pushing forwards because the front's pulling it forwards because of the way it hooks round. So you've got to elongate the holes a little bit and then push it back, the whole side skirt back. But looking at this, the way it's lining up to the door, I think this is a little bit high at the minute. The swage line isn't quite lining up, but I want to get the rear clam on as well to make sure that all the components are lining up right. Actually, it looks, it's a little bit high, so it needs to come down. Yeah, it needs to come down a little bit. I've got it a little bit high there as well. But like I say, you just elongate the holes. This is how it fixes on in here, so you'll put a seam of Bonder right the way in behind this, fill that with Bonder, and then this lip comes out further than this, and the side skirts, like you can see, it's sitting on that lip right the way along. So you just bond in the back of there or on the top of that lip as you're putting it on, and then you just create, like, you know, you just blend it in with your finger along there. And then underneath, I did sort of start with them two brackets that I was talking about it in a previous video, but now as you can see, you can fix that right the way along the side skirt. Now that's not the prettiest part of the panel, certainly, because I'm not using, it's basically that orange board that I've been using to create the fences. I just extended the mould with that stuff. So in the future I'll probably repair the mould so that that's a lot flatter and it's got a few waves on it, but once you've bolted it up, you're not going to notice it. It's underneath the bloody car anyway. It's probably going to get painted black. Love those wheels, man. Let's get rid of that tape. What? They are going to look great. The ET35 17x8s, I think we need ET20 to, I think that's the right direction. Needs an extra 15 in one direction, either up or down. I'm not too sure about my offsets, I haven't learnt that equation, but I've just been speaking to Jonathan about it and we think it's ET20 that it needs. In an ideal world, if you don't want to put spacers on them. On the front, the back's different, it's going to need a bit more on the back. I've just made myself dizzy there, standing up too fast. So I've got this side skirt to sort the seams out on. Some holes in this one. You know, I was on about the surface that the PVA leaves. Look at that. That was at a point where I was painting it on the mould and it was it was like coming back, you know, it was like spreading because there was, I think, a little bit of plasticine residue. So what I'd done was I got the heat gun and I painted the PVA on, extra PVA on, and then heated it and painted it and heated it and painted it until it just stuck, do you know what I mean? I knew that would happen. It's happened there as well. Easier to fix than cleaning off the mould, all the PVA that I'd already put on it, and then getting thinners on it and whatnot to clean the stuff off the plasticine, and then doing it all again. This is getting painted and primed, and so I just need to put a little bit of filler in that and give it a quick rubbing before I prime it. Let's see, edges to sort out. This corner's a little bit scabby. It's really hard to do on the mould. I need to get that sussed. I chipped the end of that off and my little plug thing didn't work. So I'm just deleting that idea out of the mould. It's going to be done manually. So that side skirt's to finish off, do the edges and whatnot, get it fit up onto the passenger side. Things lined up to the same stage that the other one's at. And then this bad boy can be going on. The brackets are on as well. So like Jonathan's done his new brackets. These are the originals, so I've got a couple more sat there. So he's making templates for those. We're going to get stuff like that laser cut So those are the original ones for now, but like it's ready to get the, oh no, I need to put the back bracket on as well that goes across there. So I think I'll get there by the end of today though. I think at the end of this video, you're gonna see a complete car. So, bar the wheels. On here, look here.
Ah.
Sorry, I meant on the nut, sorry. So, what's going on here, people? I've got Jonathan putting the rear bracket on. Just put the rear catch on. Got our little height adjusters there. Bump stops. Hinges are on. I just want us to find some cable ties. Do we need it for now, just for testing? All right, okay, good point. Hang on a minute, I need to find a cable tie. Right, so the cordie is the end's broke, so it needs cable tied in place. There's a set of side cuts here if you want to trim it off now.
I'm just going to leave it because it's one of them ones.
Ah, right, is it a reusable line? I haven't got the other side skirt on yet, but because I've got the hinges on and that, I thought I'll go and get Jonathan. If we get this clam on, then it just helps us with lining everything else up. So in theory, because this clam's already got the catch there, what would you call that? With the keeper? No. Catch and keeper? That's a catch, that's a keeper. Yeah. Either way, that's already in this clam in that position. So in theory, this should just bolt on if the hinges are in the right place and there's two holes marked in the roof in the molds. So like I've drilled those to those holes. So if those were right and this is all the same, then in theory this should just bolt on. I think that we might have a little bit of it's a bit tight on here sort of thing. Yeah, but yeah, and we've got the fitting. I think there's going to be a little bit of adjustment there, but we'll see. We'll see. So we'll have a go. I've picked it up in the wrong place, but mind your fingers on that arch. Yeah, neither am I. Yeah, it's just sitting on here. But we've got it's. I think I might have to. Oh no, I think we'll probably have inner arch issues lining up as well. Right, which side does this go on? The inside of it, isn't it? So yeah, it is. There you go. Yeah, the inner arches will need a little bit of fettling. Like, it's just sitting a bit wide. That's it. Needs trimmed a bit.
Take that one out, and then that'll flop.
Aye, it will, won't it? Yeah. That's it inside the clam now. Yeah, loads better. Loads better here as well. Looking pretty good at this side, like. Oh man, it's sitting perfect. Do you know what? That's fitted exactly the same because this side was always a
little bit harder to.
Yeah. Oh, look, man, it's a touch too high.
Yeah, this is pulled down.
Yeah, I think it's because I've got that like bolted quite.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, but it needs to be in line with. Yeah, so it's too high. Yeah. So it's.
That's adjustable.
Yeah, we need to adjust the top. Yeah, well, I have moved it back a little bit. It still wants to go back a bit further, doesn't it? This side's bob on, isn't it? Oh no, this side's a little bit low, maybe.
No, it's not bad.
Just looking at it's maybe the door.
It's in. That's what it is.
Aye, but if you look at it there, we're not in line with the door.
That's what I mean. It's in. If you pull that out like that, it's fine.
No, come down here and have a look at it. It's not.
If it was sat on the.
Yeah.
There and lifted, it'd be fine. That's
Now,
got
yeah, it's
elongated hole as well.
that's where the bang is.
Oh, maybe.
You know, I said there was a bang that kept on happening. I didn't know where it was coming from. That's what it is. I thought it was in that, but I didn't realise where it was at yet. Well, we need to do the collared bolt anyway. So that needs addressed, and that needs dropped down. Yeah, it's doing that kicking out. So it's slightly high at the back at the minute. It just needs adjusted down a little bit. You know, we spoke about like how long it would take us to do one. I was saying to somebody the other day, yesterday actually, about the way as long as your kit's ready, if you're to do the doors, strip the car, do the doors, do the brackets, put the kit on, bar the drying time of the roof, you could do it in a day. Like me and you could do it in a day. We could, couldn't we? Yeah. And strip the car down, strip the original car down as well. It's a hell of a transformation. That we're going to have to do that for a video. Like we've said it. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think we've got to prove what we said. Like when I said that.
You need the kit ready just to.
Yeah, it needs to be ready. Aye. Well, it doesn't have to be even painted. But that's went from like not looking like a car to, well, this side looks like part. But tell you what, putting that back on doesn't make a difference.
Oh. But I mean that went on 3 inches, so it shouldn't be a major issue for people to put them on.
Yeah. It's nice to see a complete car in the garage again. I'm not enjoying how mine's looking. So I'm just prepping this side skirt up. I'm just getting at these now. I could do them when they're on the car, but I'm just giving them a quick hit now. A little bit easier to get at them. For anybody building a kitten, I'm going to do this job. You've got to be careful not to flatten it off. So you want like a cutting across it, but rolling it at the same time. Don't. At the start you can, but you might like dig grooves in it. So if you go that way and roll over it like that, yeah, roll around the corner, it just keeps it more consistent. If you've got a big lump that you specifically need to tackle, then you know you could go at it like that, you know, straight up and down. Circles work too, but rolling over that way works better. Right, just those two holes to elongate a bit now, because this one's the same, needs pushed back, and then we can get it onto the car. I've got a bolt issue because one of these bolts is knackered. Further to that, I can still use it like. Further to that, I don't know where to put them. I found one. One will do for now, and I need the tech screws and the jugger. See how this goes. Super tight, this one. There's a lot of pressure on it. Yes, I need to trim that back a little bit. There is a line on it actually, that's where it's supposed to be trimmed. I've trimmed it too high. Hopefully I can get the air saw in at that. Right, so it's sitting a little bit low at the back. Take that screw out, pull it out, elongate the hole down the way so that I can lift the side skirt up. You can't see it all, can you? Just hang fire, I'm not moving the camera. I'll tell you what I'm doing, right, I'm unscrewing the, I think they're called posi drives, these screws. It is still springing. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure on it actually. Right, so now I'm going to elongate the hole downwards. And I've done it to the other one as well. And now I'm putting it back in and it's quite a push. There's a lot of pressure. So it's obviously tight in that front corner. The other ones were as well, but I've changed the front end slightly on, well, quite a bit really on both of these. So right, so I've got it nearly tight. And then I'm going to push like oh, but it also needs to go up at the same side. This is an awkward. I could probably do with two hands to do this actually. Sorry, two sets of hands. I'll have a go like that. Right, hopefully. Oh, she just moved slightly. Oh, catching on the front a bit. I'm going to tighten this though. What happened there? Yeah, so I need to mess about with that a bit. It needs a little bit trimmed out the inside of that lip because it's hitting the fuel filler neck and pushing it out about 1 centimetre. Cushy, he's decided to keep in this window as well, so I don't have to take it out. What a day it's been today, it's been absolutely fantastic. This has all happened, the sun's shining, Paul's decided to keep that window in. We've got to try on some new wheels and see how they look. And we've got the side skirts and the clam on and everything's fit up mint. Obviously a little bit of pushing and sanding and whatnot, but not a bad day. What time is it? No way, I could have me an early finish. It's only 20 to 5. I'll have to think about what I'm doing next really. Let's put the bonnet down and have a look at the fit at the front here. Like I say, this needs to come forward a little bit. I need to get that. I might have to put a bit of weight in that, a bit of bit of pressure to just want it out a little bit. It's in here that it's pulling, so because there's pressure there, it's twisting that in as I'm pulling that back. So I need to find a way to relieve the pressure. I'll work that out anyway. Put the bonnet down. The clam needs a little move forward. The gap's a bit big there as well, so a little bit of adjustment there. I'm probably going to do the same for the clam as well, for just locating the panel. I think actually the clam needs to move slightly to the right, to the driver's side, because that gap's tight and this gap's big. Obviously when this roof's went on, I've pulled it in, so I think I've actually pulled it in further than it was slightly, because they haven't really accounted them, because maybe a mill, but I lined the line of the window rubber up with the line of where these parts join, so that when it all came together, it forms a cross, because there's 4 lines coming into each other, and it just looked dodgy with them being, if there was a stagger in them. So I spent ages trying to get that right. So to get this right now, it needs to move over there a couple of mil. Yeah, and there's like a high and a low sort of bit going on as well that needs sorted out. This side's a little bit higher, so it just needs a bit of a tweak. Some fine adjustments. Right, I'm going to have a sit down, maybe make a brew and think about what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to go home, get these wheels to the tyre garage, get the tyres fitted, and then that saves us time in the morning. So I'll be back out here tomorrow. I'll get it down on its wheels tomorrow and just see what it's looking like, and then we can work out the spacers and how much to lower it by. Yeah, that'll just save us a bit of time, I think, if I just go now. It's 5 o'clock, so that's 5 hours. I got here at 12 o'clock, so that's how long it took to do all that. Right, I'm going to go. I'll see you tomorrow.